Marion Chase is joining me again to talk about how probiotics, which contain live bacteria and yeasts, may be beneficial when you have a gastrointestinal illness. Marion, welcome. And what a timely subject, probiotics. We see them in the grocery store, we see them in the drugstore. And you know, you mentioned to me earlier that probiotics actually started through food. So if you are dealing with some sort of gastrointestinal situation, where does actual food come into play? What should we eliminate? What should we eat?
Well, eliminating is a good place to start, because if you have gotten a GI bug, for say,
right,
and you've got some upset going on, and you could even have some vomiting or diarrhea, things to eliminate in particular are milk products, all milk-based products, and eggs in general, because those two things will feed
oh gosh, I never thought about that.
Unhelpful bacteria.
Yeah, I never thought about that aspect of it as the bacteria. You think, oh, you know, something soft like an egg.
Right, feels good.
Sure.
But it can actually be propagating and feeding the bad bacteria.
So here's where probiotics come into play.
Yes.
And so just basically, you know, what is a probiotic and what does it do?
A probiotic is a beneficial bacterium or yeast and fungi that are supportive to our own gut flora. And they don't replace it. They just are more like placeholders and supportive to our own.
Oh, that's a good analogy to it, because you often, I mean, gosh, that's such
it doesn't become a part of us.
Exactly. It's, you know, it's such a buzzword now.
Right.
Probiotics, and what strains do you look for, and how many billions do you look for, and so if I'm reading labels in the store and I think, well, gosh, this one has 10 billion strains of this, I'm going to get the one with 50 billion because it's so much better. Now, is that really the case?
And that's not necessarily helpful. More is not necessarily better, and that's still an ongoing science.
So, okay. So now how long do we take probiotics if we have an illness, a situation we're dealing with?
You can take probiotics up to a month after you're finished with your illness, because it's still beneficial until your own gut flora get back up to speed.
Sure. So again, we see them in pill form. I know there's, you know, yogurt with a probiotic strain in it. Right. So is there a better form to take a probiotic?
Well, again, if you're having a GI upset, it's best to stay away from all milk products, and then to use the pill form would be most helpful at that point. And it will be enteric coated, it's shelf stable. They're also good for traveler's diarrhea to take with you.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So that you can be supported when you're on a trip.
And that is good, because I mean, you don't need a prescription.
No. Or
there's, you know, probiotics, as I say, you can find them everywhere. And speaking of that, how do people really get information about probiotics? Is there a website? Is there
there's so much on the web in that regard.
Probably good and bad.
Good and bad. Going to the NIH website will give you the latest kind of documented research information that is helpful, you know, and they have public information on that website. Talking to your pharmacist. Oh,
that's a really good idea. And obviously your doctor and now your pharmacist. That's a wonderful point.
And so, hopefully the pharmacist has the up-to-date information on what they're supplying that is locally available in the stores.
Well, thanks so much, Marion, because I continue to learn more and more about probiotics every time you stop by. So thanks again, Marion. Great information.
Welcome. Glad to be here. Thank you, Carol.